I'm 23 and still living with my parents. They have a small farm and could really use the extra help. Plus, they don't charge me rent, so I can't really complain. It's not hard work, really, mostly just feeding animals, and I'm usually done not long after lunch. In my free time, I love to hike, and there's a small mountain with a cliff near the farm. It's about a 10-minute walk, and it's my little safe haven. I typically go up to the cliff, that we nicknamed the Crag, to watch the sunset after a day's work. The hike from the main road is pretty easy. Someone before me had marked the trees with white paint to lead the way, and the path was pretty wide from years of locals looking for a quiet place to smoke or whatever. Usually when I go up to the Crag, there were a few teenagers there drinking Four Locos and daring each other to jump. But on this particular day, I was alone, and I was kind of thankful. I needed some quiet. I found it kind of strange though, being there alone, I mean. It was late summer and the weather was amazing. Regardless, I sat down on a flat rock with a pentagram spray painted on it and looked out at the landscape. The sun was just falling out of view behind the mountainous horizon when I got an odd feeling that I wasn't where I belonged. I still can't really describe what I felt, but the closest thing I can come to is that my heart felt like it was trying to pull the rest of my body back to the main road. I shrugged the feeling off, chalking it up to not being used to the quiet, and made myself comfortable. The sunset itself was beautiful, the clouds parting for the sun in the middle of the sky, but I couldn't shake this feeling. When the sun was almost completely down, I finally decided to give in to my instincts and leave, which, to this day, was my biggest regret. I don't know why I wanted to stick around for something I'd seen a million times before, when I knew something bad was going to happen. I could feel it in my heart, in my bones, even my head was tingling. When I finally stood up and turned, I didn't know what I saw. I still don't really know what I saw. Its image is seared into my brain, but its form is constantly changing. It was massive. That much I know for sure. Its hunched back coming above the trees, white amphibian-like skin with bony joints, its limbs coming to a point, almost spider-like, but now that I say it, it even doesn't sound right. Pits like black holes where its eyes should have been. The creature was disgusting, but I couldn't help but feel enchanted by it, kind of like watching a car crash. Then came the ringing, the deafening ringing. The creature didn't move a muscle, but I could tell the noise was coming from it. It brought me to my knees and I could feel blood dripping down the sides of my face. I was sure that this was going to be the end of me, or at least the end of my hearing. But a voice in my head, I don't know if it was divine intervention or the creature messing with me, but all I heard was run. In the split second that the ringing stopped, I bolted, straight at the creature. I had nowhere else to go. My back was to the cliff and I thought my best chance at life was running under the creature and back to the main road. After I felt like I had put some distance between me and it, I turned back to see if it was chasing me or what. But I really wish I hadn't. I don't know how, but it seemed to be altering reality. I know, it sounds so crazy, but I don't know what else it could possibly be. I was running away from it as fast as I could, but when I looked back at it, it looked like it was just dragging me back, almost like I was running the wrong way on a treadmill or something. I turned forward again, hoping that if I kept looking forward, I couldn't move backwards. I kept running. That's all I could think about. I didn't even recognize the path that I could have sworn I knew. As I ran, I wondered why I was running. I couldn't remember anything other than the feeling of innate danger. I tried to stop, but my legs wouldn't let me. It felt like I was sprinting through the trees for hours, and I still don't know how long it really was. But before I knew it, it was pitch black, and I couldn't see anything that wasn't 2 feet in front of me. I turned back again. I knew I did it before, but I couldn't recall why. There was nothing there. The lack of another presence allowed my legs to slow, finally giving me a break. I wondered, was there another presence there at all? What was I doing before I was running? I couldn't remember anything. I was getting frustrated with myself and not knowing what I was doing, where I was going. I stood for a moment trying to recall anything. What was my name? I looked around, but I couldn't see anything. Was there ever anything there? Has it always just been darkness? I was beginning to accept my fate of nothingness when I heard the ringing again. That blood-curdling ringing. The warm blood crusting the side of my face, the cold stone under my knees. I forced my eyes open, scared of what I might see. But there was nothing. All I could see was fog. It was so dense, so humid, so warm. It felt like hot breath, but the feeling of urgency was gone. The ringing stopped at some point. I couldn't tell you when, but I was just realizing it at that moment. I reached my hands out in front of me, trying to feel if there was something in reach, but my arms just disappeared into the fog. I decided my best course of action was to feel my way back to the main road, trying to find where the rocky cliff ended and the path began. I crawled to where the trees would have started, but just felt newly unturned dirt. Many people don't know where the fear comes from. The one that strikes cold when you're about to get out of bed, for the bathroom, or for a drink of water. Children and adults alike know this feeling. Adults being more likely to ignore it and get a glass of water or see to the bathroom. But children are more intuitive. They couldn't tell you why or what's waiting for them if they got out of bed in the middle of the night, but they would be adamant in their fear. Well, most children. I must have been 4 years old. I slept down the hallway from my parents, with the bathroom being in between our rooms. My mom typically left the hall light on for me and would leave my door cracked open as I was afraid of the dark and would often wake up to use the bathroom. The one night she decided to turn the light off was a mistake. I was awoken from sleep with that sensation to use the bathroom. As my eyes opened, I noticed it was strangely dark. I was used to the light being on, and to see only darkness now sent a chill down my spine. But I really had to use the bathroom. I thought about holding it until there was light, but I knew I couldn't make it. Hesitantly, I sat up and placed my feet on the cold wooden floor. When I approached the cracked open door, I noticed something strange. As my eyes adjusted to the light, I could make out a figure standing there. Immediately, I froze in my spot. My eyes widened and staring. The thing stared back at me. "Mom?" I found my cracky voice. No response. "Mom?" I was louder this time, now scared that this thing maybe wasn't my mom. It didn't move. It didn't flinch. "Mom!" Even louder now. There was a thump down the hallway, and then the hallway light turned on. The thing vanished from sight. My mom had come racing into my bedroom asking what was wrong. I told her I'd seen something standing there in my doorway, but she checked the hallway, the bathroom, and my room and found nothing. She told me it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. I told her that I had to use the bathroom but was too afraid, so she walked me to the bathroom in the middle of the hall. I kept the door open, using the light from the hallway to guide me to the toilet. It was enough to light up most of the bathroom, so my mom saw no reason to turn on the bathroom light. Besides, she was standing by the door. I felt safe with her there. However, as I sat on the toilet, my eyes moving toward the mirror, I saw it, standing on the other side of the mirror. Whatever it was, I knew it lived there, and I knew it only came out to play in the dark.